Good day, YouTube. September 30th, 2020. Hey, we are back working on the 1988 Club Car golf cart. And today we're going to address some fuel issues. Even when warm, thing just falls on its face when you hit the gas. I've tried every kind of carburetor adjustment, lean and rich and everywhere in between. And I really can't make it recover from that. So, maybe it's lack of fuel. I can't drive it right now because I don't have the forward reverse shifter and I don't have the throttle cable. All that stuff is coming. I'm actually hoping it arrives today, but it's coming from the East Coast and I'm on the West Coast. So it's probably a roll of the dice if it shows up today or not. I hope it does and we can put that stuff on tomorrow and it'll help. In the meantime, I got a little time and I want to address this fuel issue. And in anticipation of issues, I have ordered a new fuel pump and a carburetor, and they're here. So I'll show you what we got going on here. I'm going to move you over a little closer. Let's fire it up. I got my brand new jumper pack connected. Just got to turn the key on and hit the gas pedal. Alright. Come on, baby. Well, hang on, it's kind of a reach here. The airbox extension is also comes with a little choke mechanism on it, which is not here currently. I'm sort of restricting air with my fingers there. So it runs and idles fine. Some telltales are, you see the fuel filter? It's not like it actually fills up. It's got a little in the bottom and it maintains an idle, but it's not full. So I put a gallon or gallon and a quarter or something of fresh fuel in the tank. Because I wanted to eliminate just low fuel level as to being part of the reason for it. And it doesn't seem to improve anything. So, before I put the carburetor on it, I think we'll just try a fuel pump. And see if that's the issue. Maybe it's just not keeping up with the demand of the fuel. So now this had just a moment to warm up. I wouldn't say it was warmed up, but it's not stone cold. Well, it seemed to have revved up pretty good there. I'll hit the gas a little quicker. It just dies. I could have saved it, but I didn't. So it's kind of hit and miss, so I'm thinking fuel pump. So let's change that fuel pump out for a new one and see if that gets the job done. If it gets the job done, I won't put the new carburetor on it. I have a couple carburetors new in the box out in the solar shed, but anyway, this seems to be a almost exact replacement. I wish this was, actually that's a better position, isn't it? Fuel comes in here, out here, this being the vacuum source. Yeah, seems to be good. Seems to be real good. Alright, let's change it. Alright, we got the fuel pump installed. No big deal. Let's see if it improved anything. I almost think it will. But carburetor's jacked up or something, we'll replace it. Come on. Hang on. First thing I'm going to look for is the fuel filter to fill up. I know it's weird. I've seen a million rigs run perfectly and it never seems like the fuel filter fills up. I don't understand it, but just died. Almost no fuel in it. Hang on. Off camera, I on a hunch took the air hose and the air nozzle and took this line off the fuel pump and back pressured it. I think I blew some chunks out of it because now the filter's full, the line is full, and it's flowing fuel big time. I'm probably still going to replace the carburetor because the where the fuel goes in, if I can find it for you, right there, doesn't stay put, keeps popping out, and it's leaking. Funny, that just went right in there a minute ago. But it does rev now, so we're getting there. So cool. So I think we're going to change that carburetor anyway, for these other reasons. Make it safe, and it'll be new. I think we got the fuel system sorted. It's good. Had a little incident, some fuel on the ground there when the pressure in the tank pushed fuel back out that amber hose, but it's all good. It's all good. All right, I'm gonna change that carburetor. All right, it's the next day. Kind of waited for this thing to cool off and then went on to some other things. So I've got the air cleaner off of it. That was a bit of a challenge. There's like 3 different kinds of screws holding it together. You know, inside this thing is these plates that bolt us to the carburetor, with the idea that there's this couple of tabs that you fold over on a hex bolt to make sure the bolts don't back out. But no, they use some sort of a Torx headed, threaded, like metal screw or something instead, so that, you know, folding the tab over is not going to do any good. So I'll have to sort all that out. This is what it was bolted on with. Just, you know, I hate that. If I have to go to the hardware store to get the right bolts on a project, I just take the time to do that because I just hate Mickey Mouse and things back together. The threads in the carburetor are likely jacked up because it's got the wrong bolts in it, which is, I guess, another good reason to change it. So anyway, I'm going to keep digging in here and get this old carburetor out of here, and got the new one here in the box. So I'll catch you up when I get them swapped out. Oh, I do have I did order a new air filter. It has arrived. Another cool thing too is I've had this gas cap gas gauge on the shelf for years. I bought it for one of my riding mower projects, and it was too long. I finally found a use for it. Cool, it works on the golf cart. So it's a real long version. It wouldn't fit in any of the tanks that I had because it was too long. Got it the wrong length. But finally, I found a use for it. Yay, on the golf cart. I'm stoked. Okay, I'll get back to you. All right, we got the new carburetor on there. Just got to hook the fuel line up, probably extend that a little bit. And I need to take this air cleaner outside and give it a good wash. I found some screws to screw the air cleaner back together with, all 3 that match, and a couple to bolt it to the carburetor that turned out to be metric. I'll show you the old carburetor. I did take it apart to see what it looked like inside. Oh, there it is. It wasn't too bad inside. There's a little dirt in there, but it would have been fine. It was running fine. It just that where the gas connected to it was all falling apart. I beat it in there, but it just falls back out again. So we don't need that in our future. So we'll continue putting this back together, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, got everything connected carburetor wise. Got half the air cleaner on it anyway. Got a new fuel filter put down there. There's a little spot to clip it in, tie wrapped it in, add some new fuel line there. And we're just going to put the new air filter in. And we'll give it a fire up. The old air filter looks like it's been there a decade or more. Pretty gross. New one. Ah, yes. Yes. Does it look like there's a top or bottom? This will be a little interesting to put on. It's one of them oddball screws again. Phillips. No. Phillips. Here we go. Phillips. Alright, I'll finish this up and then we'll fire it. I gotta be in your way over here. Alright, let's see if she'll run. She'll have to crank a bit to get fuel up there. Everything's empty. Key on. She's pumping. Got my drill. Choking it all. Anytime, brother, anytime. Battery pack's gone dead. Alright. Might have to put the battery back in it. Well, it looks like we've wrapped up the fuel pump and carburetor swap. I bought both on eBay. I don't put the links there because, you know, the auction will disappear before the video gets uploaded, typically. But the carburetor was in like the $23 range, and the fuel pump was $12-13, something like that. I looked. Nah, it was something different. All right, so let's fire it up, and I have actually ran it and tweaked the carburetor and got it. The idle's all set, fuel mixture all set, and it runs good. That's smooth. You know, before it would not rev, it would kind of starve itself, and I think a lot of the issue was actually the plugged fuel line, or partially plugged anyway, because I hit the air hose to this line and pressured it back into the tank, and then the pressure in the tank erupted back with fuel and it splashed everywhere. But it did do a good job of cleaning the fuel line out. We put a new fuel filter on it. It's got a new fuel line from the pump to the carburetor, and it revs now. Comes back to an idle. I stuck a little spring on there to get it to return, because right now the governor cable that has the spring on it's all screwed up. I have actually unhooked it on one end, so that's one of the parts I'm waiting for. I would have hoped that it would have been here yesterday, but it didn't make it. So yeah, well gang, that's another project crossed off the list on the Club Car Golf Cart. So I appreciate you guys watching the video, commenting. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. We do a lot of little projects like this. You know, we're always watching the internet for fun projects, things that don't run, and things we can make run. So we'll catch you back on the next video.